That'll be like the new patina edition. Like 10 years from now, all the Cybertrucks will be like just slightly rusted.
What do you think about like the Foundation series and everything it stands for?
I'm not sure how to feel about it.
And last question, is the Cybertruck overhyped?
I feel like it's overhated.
Hey guys, we got an exciting video for you today. We're meeting up with Vehicle Virgins, who is an automotive content creator who's had plenty of exotics and other crazy vehicles. So we're gonna get his reaction to the Cybertruck and ask him, is the Cybertruck overhyped? Hey, what's up, man? Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me out here.
Of course. So what do you think about the truck?
It's pretty epic. I knew it was red. That's about it. I didn't know you had these cool aftermarket fenders. I saw this online. I think it's a really cool mod. It kind of like changes the look of the truck. And I've never seen one with aftermarket wheels. So
these are unplugged performance carbon fiber fenders and then unplugged 20-inch rims as well. So I think it really gives it a nice look. And actually I was running the 22-inch rims before this, which was even bigger than this. So absolutely insane. But they are a little bit noisier than stock, maybe like 10 to 20% more noise than the stock. But comfort, it's been great for sure. You've already driven a Cybertruck before, right?
I have.
Nice. You drove it up these canyons?
I drove it on this road, yeah. I was impressed. I thought the steering might take a little bit to get used to. I thought instantly adapt to it. It felt a lot more nimble than any truck that I've ever driven. Because of the steer-by-wire and the rear axle steering. And I think the interior and the vibe of the truck when you're driving it feels cooler than any other Tesla.
Would you say, because you have a Model S as well, have you had other Teslas before this?
No, I had the Plaid, and then I actually ordered this first, like 4 years ago. Then the Plaid came out, I reviewed it and decided, I need this, it's too fast, it's pretty awesome. So that's the only Tesla I've ever had, and then waiting for whenever this thing
Nice. So in terms of comfortability between the S and the Cybertruck, would you say the Cybertruck is more comfortable or less, or how much more percentage-wise?
I think after the end of today, I'll be able to answer that better. I didn't spend too much time in the Cybertruck.
Well, what about initial thoughts, initial impression?
I don't know, I think similar. Have you driven both a fair amount? What do you think?
So I've been fortunate. I've had the 3YS and now the X as well. And the S and X both have air suspension. We know this. But I would say this is like 30% more comfortable than the X, just because of ride height and visibility and things like that.
It makes sense. It's got more suspension travel and it's heavier and more solid of a vehicle.
What do you think about the build quality compared to like your current Tesla or other Teslas you've seen?
The one that I tested seemed totally fine. There weren't any crazy panel gaps or anything. I don't know if I got lucky with mine. Mine was pretty good from the factory as well. I remember being really critical when I walked up to the car at the delivery center, like, all right, we're gonna find all Tesla's failures or whatever, and it really wasn't that bad. I think it's a bit overplayed.
It is,
Did you find anything with your car that you were like disappointed in?
So nothing too much with this current Cybertruck, but I've seen on other Cybertrucks, like this rear panel up here, there was like a weird alignment on some of them. Some were higher than others, but fortunately this one wasn't too bad. And this is like under 1,000 in terms of like production VIN and things like that. Other than that, I did see, or my detailer pointed out, 2 rust spots. Underneath the wrap on like the top fender right here, but of course it's wrapped now so you can't see it, but it was like 2 like little dots like right here underneath it. But I mean, I guess that's
on the outside.
On the outside.
Wow, interesting. That'll be like the new patina edition. Like 10 years from now, all the Cybertrucks will be like just slightly rusted.
For the most part, like, I mean, I'm also jaded on Tesla build quality as well, and I think it's been perfectly fine, like relative to the other ones.
100%.
Yeah. What do you think about the design of the Cybertruck?
So, I know a lot of people don't like it. Personally, I think the front looks really cool. I like the side. There's certain angles when you look at the back where I'm like, oh, I'm not so sure. But overall, I do like it. What's
one thing that surprised you seeing it on like TV and YouTube versus seeing it in person?
I think originally, because of the concept, and the concept itself was larger. It seemed like it would be larger than it is. I watched Manny's video and he thought that it was larger in real life than in pictures, which I thought was interesting. I think it's more the size of a usable truck than it might appear in videos. I know it's about the size of a F-150 Lightning, which isn't really that large of a vehicle. And I think that's smart because the average buyer of this doesn't want to have to drive a semi-truck around.
Yeah, exactly. I hear that a lot, actually. Most people think it looks smaller than it is in person than they saw on like TV and things like that.
Now, have they offered any other interior colors yet? Or is this They basically only have the black.
So I think I saw like a gray that was going to come out, but this is the only black interior with like the white accents and things like that.
Yeah, the two-tone's really nice.
Yeah. What do you think about like the Foundation series and everything it stands for?
I'm not sure how to feel about it. It kind of felt like a bit of a, let's just charge 20 grand more out of nowhere. I get it because Tesla doesn't have the dealer markup, they don't have dealerships. So in order to get a little bit more in the beginning, they have to do something like that potentially. But it felt a little bit like a cash grab to me.
100%. I usually just tell people it's a markup. Essentially, that's what it is. I mean, they can do it. It's smart of them to do it. And really, it's best for probably the brand and the stock price.
Yeah. And I mean, people are paying it. So you can't really blame them for for going for it. I do wish that they came out with the Cyber Beasts like at the beginning, like they were originally supposed to. I'm not sure if that was a strategy or it's an issue with the car.
From what I've heard, it's like the motor issue. Like they don't have enough parts to ramp it up.
That makes more sense.
That's why they send this one out.
Because I'd imagine they want to, obviously, release the vehicle. That's just so funny. I saw a video where this wasn't working on theirs.
Oh.
Maybe they just had a faulty...
Probably.
Yeah. That's funny. Do you know how to turn it on and off? Do you just touch it? Or?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yep, theirs was definitely broken.
Ooh, that's not good at all, but typical Tesla.
The only thing I don't like about the interior is I wish they had either a heads-up display or maybe a little screen that said the speed. It feels a little bit like the Model 3 where you kind of have to look, I'm sure you've gotten used to it, but you have to look a little bit over to the side.
It's funny you say that because right when I got into this truck, I was like, why am I looking all the way to the right now? Because Model X, you see right in front, just like the Model S. And you're completely right about the no heads-up display. I don't know why Tesla's so resistant to that. But
it is interesting because, I mean, they offer it on an entry-level Camaro. I mean, you can get it on a $30,000 car. You should be able to get it on a $120,000 car.
Exactly.
And it seems like a futuristic tech to have. Like they would really and maybe they'd go above and beyond and have a really cool heads-up display with different colors and whatnot.
Yeah, and that's kind of like with this, small baby rear view mirror. It's now digital as well, which...
Also thought that was interesting, especially considering that it basically doesn't work with, the tonneau cover up.
Yeah.
Why not make a big mirror with a camera like every other manufacturer?
Exactly. But initial thoughts getting into the interior of the Cybertruck, what do you think? Like, is it good? Is it better than the previous versions or a little lacking still?
I think it feels very Tesla. It's what I expected it to be.
Yeah.
I like the dash layout with the different kind of stair steps and how large the windshield is. I think it makes it a more like grand experience than maybe the S or the X.
Yeah.
But it definitely, when you hop in like a Rivian or a Lucid, it doesn't have quite the luxurious design elements. But it's also a truck, so I don't know if it's really supposed to have that. I like it, but I could see somebody saying, oh, it's not quite as fancy as you'd expect for 120 grand.
Because have you owned a truck before?
No.
Oh,
no.
Interesting. So you've never been a truck owner at all?
Never been a truck owner. I've reviewed a lot of trucks. I mean, I guess if I think about it, I like the interior of this better than a TRX or a Raptor R. So maybe I'm being too critical. I love that it has ambient lighting.
Yeah.
That was always a huge bummer for me that none of the Teslas the Tesla that I have doesn't have ambient lighting. I don't quite get that.
So I've never been a truck owner, but because of the channel, I've jumped in TRXs, met with TRX owners, Raptor owners, and things like that. And jumping into like real trucks, it's very interesting to see the difference between those trucks and these. Like one thing that sticks out to me now every day is this A-pillar blind spot right there to the left.
100%.
Like, yes, there's a camera mount right there, but either way, it's still a huge...
It's pretty ridiculous.
And I also feel like the interior is softer than like those trucks.
Yes, it definitely feels less like manly and truck-like. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's more like tech executive vibes.
Is the Cybertruck worth 80 or 100 or 120 if you consider the Foundations series package? Because right now, this one is $80K MSRP base, but there's a $20K markup. So is this truck, the Foundation all-wheel drive, is it worth $100,000?
I think right now it is. I think, fast forward a year and a half, then I think the markup makes sense. It's a hot truck right now. Yeah. It's ridiculous. We were just in the parking lot. People were like, oh, can we see the inside, whatever. The Raptor R, when it came out, people were charging $50,000, $60,000, $75,000 over MSRP. And that was a $200,000 truck. Is it worth that? Absolutely not. But for the few people who want it in that 6-month window, who have extra money, why not, I guess. Definitely worth the 80. And if you want it quicker, then whatever. It's worth 100.
Exactly. Do you have one on order?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
It'll come in 5 years, probably.
And last question, is the Cybertruck overhyped?
I feel like it's overhated.
Ooh.
But part of the hate also boosts the hype. It's like the most talked about vehicle on the internet.
Yes.
So in that sense, yeah, I mean, it's not like a Valkyrie or something of that nature, but at the same time, you got to give them credit for doing new advertising and having the polarizing nature of the car sell itself all over the internet. Exactly. Oh man. I don't know if it's overhyped, to be honest. Because it has so much of that negative attention too, I think it brings it to like a equal balance. Yeah.
It's interesting because like this car gets attention from all demographics. Yeah. Women, men, children, 100%. Everybody's excited at all ages too. Yeah. Whereas like, yeah, I mean, you know, definitely like depending on what Porsche you're in, it could be a really nice Porsche, but no one cares.
100%. Or you get the people who pretend they don't want to care, so they're like, oh, I'm not going to look at that like fancy car versus this. Like, I think everyone gets excited.
Exactly. Yeah. And have you seen the Easter egg?
With the tapping on this? Yep. I have.
Okay, perfect. Just oh, look, you did it right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my bad.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much.
Of course.
If you want to shout out your channel and everything.
It's called Vehicle Virgins. Thanks for having me out here and letting me review the truck. I'm pumped for this.
Thanks so much. See ya.